Well, it's time to renew the registration on my bike, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you all what it entails, well, as much as I can anyway. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to take Mel with me. Because she's pregnant, she'll get to the front of the queue, because when I take you to renew the registration, you'll see that LTO is always full. Well, anywhere you go for papers, it's always packed full of people wanting to get something renewed or changed or whatever. So it should be quite interesting to show you it. As far as my van goes, we might be able to keep it. I'm in negotiations to try and sort something financially out, so we can keep it, but we'll have to see what happens, because there's lots of issues really. I don't mean with the van, I mean us keeping it. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Now we've got a Bible school going here, but I've not been invited. Hello. Oh, hello. The pregnant mummy. Now you went for a checkup, didn't you, yesterday? And what did they say? What did they say? It's starting to make a hole, the baby. It's starting to make a hole? Yeah. You're starting to dilate. Is that right? So she's starting to dilate, so me thinking it's going to be the end of this, it could be any day now, to be honest.
You're wrong, you said it before end the month.
Yeah, well, yeah, who am I? I'm not God, am I? So when you go to get papers, whatever the papers are, you always have to get copies. So Xerox all your papers before you actually go, and that'll save you having to walk out and get to the back of the queue again. Look at Mel's face, he's done something wrong here. Kapay.
I said,
There's some of my favourite sweeties here, so I normally steal one. Stealing. I'm going to try one of these. Thank you. So, hey, look at this. Hey, that looks so sexy. But being as it's got the UK flag on it. Are you supporting the UK? I thought you had your helmet in here. I thought that's where you were keeping it. Go on then, let's go. Well, we're at LTO, Land Transportation Office. This is where you come for basically anything to do with transport. Thank you. There's not many in today. Hey, I'm making myself out to be a liar here. Normally it's really full, but today it's not. So normally to get your registration would take, well, anything up to an hour, and if it's full it could take up to 2 hours. So it's great to have a pregnant woman with you because you get to the front of the queue.
For insurance.
For insurance. Okay.
We've been there before.
Yeah.
Dai, si motor. September.
Lahat na po man, makakala po kung forman.
What's happening, Mel?
For insurance.
For insurance.
Motorbike.
Okay.
Sige na po.
Thank you. And one thing I've noticed about a lot of these places is the guards are very helpful, and they seem to be more knowledgeable sometimes than the actual staff. So this is where we're getting the insurance part of the registration.
Then after the emission, right?
We go to the emissions, yeah.
Test.
Yeah. So see how Mel got rushed to the front of the queue because she has a big football? If I have an accident, what does the registration insurance cover me for?
Actually, sir, our insurance is TPL, third-party liability. The coverage of our insurance, if you had an accident, the person who had an accident by you is the coverage of our insurance.
Right.
So,
So for example, if I injure somebody, the insurance just covers that person for the injury?
yes, sir.
Yeah?
And it depends upon the damages upon the accident person, sir.
Depending on how bad the
Yes,
accident
sir.
is. So it pays for hospital.
Hospital bill, something, sir, or if death. Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope they're never dead.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, thanks very much.
Welcome, sir.
Right, we're at the emissions testing centre, which is just round the corner, LTO, sorry. And normally back in the UK you get what we called an MOT test, which is motor efficiency test. They test everything. They test your emissions, they test your lights, suspension, if your forks are leaking, all that kind of stuff. If there's any guards missing or anything like that, they fail. I mean, basically they've got to be in good condition, really good condition, brakes, etc. But here all they do is the emissions. Now the insurance has just cost me 600 pesos. I'm not sure what the emissions cost, but I think last year altogether cost me about 1200 pesos for the bike. So I think the car's around about 2000 pesos to get the new registration, and the registration for my van's due in October. But we've come 20 days early. It didn't have to be done till the 20th of next month, the bike registration. But we just come early because if Mel has the baby and that, you know, I didn't want to have to come and do all this. The car registration straightforward, it's the same process. You go, you get your papers, you come and do the admissions, then they just check round, make sure your lights work, your horn and everything, and that's it, Bob's your auntie. I'm waiting for my bike to have its emissions test, and I'm just looking round it because after you've been and got the papers and you've got the insurance, then you come to get, I'll do it, then you come to get the emissions done. Then once your emissions are done, you've got to take it all the way back and they check round the bike to make sure your lights work, this, that and the other. And I've just checked my lights, and the front light, the dip on my front light, the bulb is broke. So it's only my main beam that works. So maybe they'll not notice, hopefully not. We're expecting our little son any day now. I don't think she'll get through another 7 days. But I was wrong on the date because I said the 31st of this month and we're on the 30th, aren't we, babe? So I think sometime next week maybe, or next couple of days, you just don't know. What you got to remember about vehicles here in the Philippines, it's not like back in a Western country. The standards aren't strict here like they are in the West. It's basically only just getting the paperwork together, that's all it is. That's why you see a lot of these vehicles on the road that you'd think, my God, if that was back in the West, they'd be impounded.
The registration of your motorbike is not yet expired, right?
What?
Your motorbike
What,
is
babe?
not yet expired.
No, I've just told them that the registration didn't expire till the 20th of September, but we decided to do it now, like I explained before. So the next thing's to have it checked. Right, I've just watched what they do when they come to inspect the bike, and they actually take the chassis number and the frame number, sorry, the engine number and the frame number, and they just like stencil it onto the paper, and then they check your lights, the brake lights and everything. Well, my dip didn't work, and that was all right. And also the horn didn't work, but it does work. The battery's nearly dead, and that's why the horn wasn't working, because I had the light on. As soon as I switched the light off, the horn worked. So that just shows you, don't worry about the vehicle you've got. The registration isn't a problem. Are we all right now, baby? We're getting the registration. That's it then. Just got to get the papers now. There's a few more people in now. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Right, now normally should have come in here, should have to sit here amongst all these and wait for ages, then get sent to that window. Well, because she's pregnant, she's got preferential treatment. So I hate coming to these places, I really do, but it's a necessity, I'm afraid. Now, just talking about the insurance, if you have an accident and you kill somebody and you're a foreigner, the chances are you're going to go to prison. Insurance or not. And I'm not saying that just applies to foreigners, it does to Filipinos as well, but the chances are if you're a foreigner, you'll definitely end up in prison. Just be aware that it doesn't matter what accident you're involved in, even though it's not your fault and you've got camera evidence, you'd still be in the wrong. And that's wherever you go in the Philippines, I'm afraid. The foreigner always has to pay because the Filipino doesn't have any money. Right, Mel, so we've paid 600 for the insurance. We've paid 450 for the admissions test, so that's 1,050. And it looks like we've got to pay 850 for the actual registration.
I think so.
Right.
How much it costs for?
So that's 1,900, isn't it? 1,900 pesos. So that's it.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, we got the registration. It has took about an hour, even though she got fast track. 1,750 pesos for a bike registration. And what you got to remember is the procedure for the car is exactly the same as what you've seen here for the bike, except it'll be a bit more money. I think you're looking around 3,000 pesos for your registration for your car, but because I haven't done it yet, I can't be sure. That's only a guess. So until the next video.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping